Alright, so in this video I'm going to look at irrational equations. Irrational equations are just equations which have a root in them like this, okay? So first example over here, I'm asked to solve x plus 4 is equal to the square root of x plus 10. I'm going to approach this probably the way you expect. I want to get rid of this root. So what's the opposite of square root? It is squared. So I'm going to square that side. If I square that side, I need to square this side. And just remember, it's the entire left-hand side you're squaring. So when you square like this in when you're trying to solve an equation, you are squaring both sides in full. What you are not doing is squaring x, squaring 4, and then squaring this. So it's the entire left-hand side and the entire right-hand side. The left-hand side, so x plus 4 to be squared is equal to x squared plus 4 squared is 16, and then don't forget that other term, which is always x multiplied by 4 is 4x, multiplied by 2 is 8x. Okay, so to square out a bracket like that, it is first term squared, second term squared, and then first term multiplied by second term multiplied by 2, so always 2. So x by 4 is 4x, multiplied by 2 is 8x. On the right hand side then, the square root and the square cancel each other out, and you're just left with the x plus 10. So that's why we were doing this. We were doing this to get rid of the square root, get the x out from under there so we can solve it now. And if you look at this now, I've got x squared, I've got x's, I've got numbers, it's going to be a quadratic to solve it. So get everything over to the left hand side. So I've got x squared plus 16 plus 8x. Bring the x over, it becomes minus x. Bring the 10 over, it becomes minus 10 equals 0. So x squared plus 7x plus 16 minus 10 is 6 is equal to 0. So you can solve this however you like. Guide number, trial and error, minus b. I'm going to use guide number. So my guide number is 6. Factors of 6 are 1 and 6, or 2 and 3. I want them to add to 7. So I'm going to pick 1 and 6. So split that up into 1x plus 6x plus 6 equals 0 at the end, and x squared at the start. So two groups of 2. X squared plus 1x, factorize the x out, and you're left with x plus 1. 6x plus 6, factorize the 6 out, and you're left with x plus 1. Factorize the x plus 1 out, and you're leaving x plus 6 behind, so that's equal to 0. So that gives me x is equal to minus 1, or x is equal to minus 6. Now, these irrational equations are always ones where you need to check your two solutions, okay? So check if these answers work with the original equation, okay? So the original equation, remember, is x plus 4 equals the square root of x plus 10. So when x is equal to minus 1, this is minus 1 plus 4 equals the square root of minus 1 plus 10. Left hand side, 4 minus 1 is 3. Right hand side, 10 minus 1 is 9. So 3 is equal to the square root of 9 is 3. So that solution works. Let's try minus 6 then. So x plus 4. So minus 6 plus 4 is equal to the square root of minus 6 plus 10. So 4 minus 6 is minus 2 is equal to 10 minus 6 is 4. Okay, in these, because we're not introducing the square root here to solve an equation, we don't need to consider the kind of plus and minus case, so we're just going to go the square root of 4 is 2. So we only considered a positive case here because the square root's already there. Okay, so the square root of 4 is 2. So minus 2 is equal to 2. That's not true. Okay. So minus 6 does not work as a solution. So x is equal to minus 1 is the only solution. Okay, and that will happen with these. Okay, one solution will work, one will not. Okay, and like I said, just don't forget there, the square root of 4, we're just going to consider the positive case when we're checking these. So example 2 over here, so 4 plus the square root of x plus 2 is equal to x. So it looks a little bit different to the way the first one started. Before you square to get rid of the square root, you need to isolate it. You need to get that square root on its own. So in this question here, I'm going to move the 4 over to the other side. So I'm going to get x, the square root of x plus 2 is equal to x. Bring 4 over, it becomes minus 4. Okay, so you need to get the square root on its own. So I'm going to square both sides. Left hand side, the square root of x plus 2 squared, the square root and the squared cancel each other out, so you're just left with x plus 2 equals, don't forget you're squaring the entire right hand side, so you're squaring that bracket. So first term squared, x squared, minus 4 times minus 4 is plus 16, and then the mixed term then, the third term, x multiplied by minus 4 is minus 4x, multiplied by 2 then is minus 8x. So let's get everything onto one side, equal to 0, so 0 equals x squared plus 16 minus 8x. Bring the x over, it becomes minus, bring the 2 over, it becomes minus. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 8x minus x is minus 9x. 16 minus 2 is 14. So solve this. Guide number is 14. So 1 and 14, 2 and 7, 3, that's it. I'm trying to make minus 9. And my guide number is positive, so I'm going to take 2 and 7 and I'm going to make them both minus. Because minus 2 minus 7 is minus 9, and minus 2 multiplied by minus 7 is plus 14. So minus 2x minus 7x, I've got plus 14, and I've got x squared. So two groups of 2, so x squared minus 2x, so x on x minus 2, minus 7x plus 14, so factorize the minus 7 out. So x minus 2, x minus 2 common to both there, so I've done this right, factorize that out. I'm left with x minus 7. Alright, so x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 7. Now let's just check both of those. We'll go with the original equation from the question. So 4 plus sub 2 in here for x, so 2 plus 2 is equal to x, so is equal to 2. So 4 plus the square root of 4 is equal to 2, so square root of 4 is 2, so is 4 plus 2 equals 2. 6 is not equal to 2. Okay, so you can rule that out as a solution. This one should work then. So 4 plus the square root of, instead of x plus 2, 7 plus 2, is that equal to, x is equal to 7 here. So 4 plus the square root of 9, is that equal to 7? The square root of 9 is 3, so 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, so 7 is equal to 7. So yes, that solution works. Okay, so like I said, these are rational equations. You are squaring to get rid of the square root. If you've got something like this on the other side, don't forget it is not just x squared plus 16. You'll have that third term. If it starts out with the square root not on its own, you need to rearrange your equation to get it on its own. And then at the end, just check your two solutions. Okay, so you'll get two solutions from your quadratic. One will work, one won't. So just don't forget to check them on these questions.